Happy March! Not only is March a great time for Michigan State basketball fans such as myself, go green, March just happens to be National Kidney Month, National Nutrition Month, and National Women's History Month. As a woman-owned business all about kidney nutrition, it's pretty much a month all about Melanie. And to celebrate, I'm offering a ton of different discounts and freebies all month long. Make sure you're on my newsletters list so you don't miss anything. You can head to kidneystonefreebie.com to make sure you're on there. Also, I have a special offer just for you as a listener of the Eat Away Kidney Stones podcast. I'm giving away free VIP enrollment to my signature course, Kidney Stone Nutrition School. To enter for a chance to win, all you have to do is leave a review for this podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts, take a screenshot of the review, and email it to us at hello@thekidneydietitian.org by March 31st, 2025. Good luck and happy Kidney, Nutrition, and Women's Month. Welcome to the Eat Away Kidney Stones podcast. I'm your host, registered dietitian and kidney stone expert, Melanie Betts. After learning a ton about kidney stones and helping people prevent stones at the University of Chicago, I was fed up with all the terrible advice people were finding online. So I decided to do something about it. The Kidney Dietitian was born. This podcast is for people who want to learn what actually works to prevent kidney stones and still enjoy life, eating, and their favorite foods. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to the 88th episode of the Eat Away Kidney Stones podcast. As always, I'm your host, registered dietitian and kidney stone expert, Melanie Betts. And I have to apologize for today's episode because I am battling a cold and I did not get ahead on my podcast scheduling and have to record this episode today because it's due today. So please bear with my likely coughs and stuffy nose and general unwellness. And also, in light of my illness, I wanted to keep this episode short and sweet so you did not have to listen to me cough and sniffle through too long of an episode and tackle a question that I get fairly often, which is, should I boil my vegetables? Because I read that it reduces oxalate content. This is a really easy question to answer, and the answer is no. It's just, if someone told you to boil vegetables to reduce their oxalate content, that just is such a narrow-minded view of what kidney stone nutrition is. So let me dive into what I mean by that a little bit. So the first question is that even true? Will boiling your food, vegetables specifically, because that tends to be where oxalate is found, of course, and which foods you might boil, does that reduce oxalate content? And the answer is yes. For example, potatoes or broccoli, I don't know, like literally any vegetable is going to have some oxalate in it, right? And if you boil it, it will reduce how much oxalate is in there, typically by about 50% or so. Of course, exactly how much oxalate gets leached, basically like pulled from the food that you're boiling, is going to depend on how much surface area is touching the water. Generally, the more surface area that's touching the water, the more oxalate is going to get reduced. So if you think about potatoes, if you cut up potatoes into smaller pieces, there's more of that potato that's touching the water, which means more oxalate will be able to be pulled from those potatoes. Also, how hot the water is. Generally, the hotter the water, the more oxalate will be pulled, and also how long you cook it. Generally, the longer you cook something, more oxalate will be pulled. Also, I just wanted to note that the same is true for potassium, which is generally a topic we talk about for kidney disease, not kidney stones, but will actually come up later in this episode when I talk about the potential harms of boiling all your vegetables to reduce oxalate content. But potassium, as well as all other water-soluble vitamins and minerals, will also be pulled just like oxalate will. And so all of those caveats that I mentioned for how much oxalate will be reduced in terms of cooking time and temperature and surface area is also true for potassium. So short answer is yes. If you boil your vegetables, oxalate will be reduced. However, like I hinted at already, also every single other water-soluble vitamin, mineral will be reduced in that food. So I mentioned that someone who's telling you to boil your food to reduce the oxalate content or potassium content for that matter, but that's a whole nother episode, just has such a narrow view of what kidney nutrition is. Because as always, as I've said, there's no data to show that eating less oxalate prevents kidney stones. That simply does not exist. And when we eat less oxalate, we guaranteed we'll eat a lot less good things that are really going to help prevent stones. So, for example, when you boil your vegetables to get rid of that oxalate or to reduce that oxalate, you're also going to be getting rid of magnesium. And we know that magnesium is a really powerful inhibitor of calcium oxalate kidney stones. It's also going to get rid of that potassium, as well as lots of other healthy vitamins and minerals that are going to basically help balance your pH and balance your acid levels in your urine, which is going to have a very powerful impact on how much on your body's ability to make kidney stones. Also, when you boil fruits and vegetables, you're going to be reducing how much phytic acid or phytate is in those things, which is another super duper duper powerful inhibitor of calcium-based stones. Scientists actually think that phytic acid is significantly more than tenfold more potent at inhibiting calcium-based stones than citrate, which is, of course, why doctors are telling you to drink lemon juice all the time. And so also, I suppose, from both a kidney stone in general standpoint, when you boil your foods, especially to death, right, you're going to be breaking down a lot of the fiber, and just like generally literally, like I said, all water soluble vitamins and minerals are going to be reduced. So, it's kind of like a benefit-harm ratio here. Like, yes, the oxalate content will go down, but also, so will all of these other really, really healthy things for both kidney stone prevention as well as general health. And to me, that just doesn't make sense, especially in the light of the fact that there's no data, not a single shred of evidence that shows that people who eat less oxalate form fewer kidney stones. And the reason for that likely is because for exactly the same sort of, not argument, but the same perspective that I'm providing here, that diets that include less oxalate are going to include less healthy foods, less fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, beans, all these things that are packed with kidney stone inhibitor powerhouses. And when you are boiling your food simply to get rid of that oxalate, you're getting rid of a lot of those kidney stone inhibitor powerhouses as well. And so it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So am I saying that you should never boil your food? No. If you like boiling your food for whatever reason, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like if you grew up with boiled peas and that is just the way that you like your peas, then yes, that is fine, right? Like I'm not saying that boiling food is inherently bad, but what I do not want to happen is to people switch to or choose to boil their food simply because someone told them that it was going to reduce how much oxalate was in their food, because that doesn't make any sense. I don't think that's going to make that food safer for you as someone with kidney stones, and I know that it's going to make it generally less beneficial for you from a general health standpoint. And with that, I'm going to close this episode. I got through the whole thing without coughing. I think that's great. Like I said, I just wanted to clear the air because I've been getting this question a lot. Should I boil my vegetables, boil my food to get rid of oxalate? Short answer, absolutely not. It's not going to do anything to help reduce your risk of stones. And if anything, it's going to harm the kidney stone preventative efforts or factors that food has. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Eat Away Kidney Stones podcast and for bearing with me through this sniffly episode. And I hope to see you next week with a much less sick episode of the Eat Away Kidney Stones podcast. Have a good day.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. For more help with kidney stones, check out my website, www.thekidneydietitian.org. For more personalized help from me, check out my online course, Kidney Stone Nutrition School. VIP enrollment includes help directly from me. I can't wait to see you there and help you prevent kidney stones. Have a great day.